If you have an afro, that is so wonderful. It means that you're special however you are. If you don't, it's okay. You're special as the same person that has an afro. Love yourself, okay, guys? And you got to stand up for yourself. You have to love yourself.
Okay, so really quickly, I saw this and I thought it was so cute. This girl is so cute. I love her beautiful dark skin and her kinky hair. But more importantly, I just love seeing Black kids love how they are made. You have to start them off young. You have to teach young little Black girls young how to love themselves, how to have pride in yeah, how to have pride in who they are and how they were made. I can remember as a little girl, little things my mom would do. She made sure to give us Black Barbie dolls. If there was a little coloring book, she made sure to color it brown. Like there's this running joke today that like my mom would literally paint stuff. We had a backpack and there was a little white girl in there. She would literally go and paint the backpack and like add little like fake hair to make braids. Like she went out of her way to get these Black representation. And I didn't think a lot about it, but now as an adult I understand that she was trying to make us feel accepted and have representations of ourselves, of acceptance and of love. And so it may seem so small, but there's something about seeing yourself being represented back to you, that can be really powerful. And there's something even more impactful about seeing an adult, an elder, somebody you respect being unequivocally Black, being unequivocally who they are, and being proud of it, not hiding it, not feeling like they need to make excuses for it, not feeling like they need to tone it down, but just being themselves and loving themselves. That's really powerful. So something else I came across I wanted to share real quickly. Now, this story is a little old, but I think it's still really powerful. It was the story of a group of South African girls who protested a high school that they were at in South Africa. They protested by wearing their own natural hair. And the story goes that they were being persecuted basically for wearing the hair that went out of their head. And this was not be the first time. I mean, Black woman, African American woman out here in the States, we've experienced that. I mean, the Crown Act just passed a couple of years ago. I think it was 2019, I want to say. There's been a history of Black women being persecuted for wearing their own hair, which is why some of us honestly don't feel comfortable with it. Some of us don't even know how to do it and how to make it beautiful, how to make it work for us, because we may have come from generations of women who were told their hair was bad, and the only thing they knew how to do was try to make their hair look white. I wanted to read through this article real quickly because it was super encouraging just to see Black girls stand up for who they were. And so here it reads: rules over how female students wear their hair at South African high school have been suspended after anti-racism protests from Black pupils. A local minister says pupils at Pretoria Girls High states. Okay, pupils at Pretoria Girls High say staff often tell them to straighten their hair and they are not allowed afros. School rules would be suspended while an independent investigation takes place into the allegations. Gauteng province's education minister said the school has not commented. First of all, so this policy, again, this is not uncommon. The same thing happened out here in the States. Remember you had the civil rights movement when like everyone was like wearing afros, and then what happened was some of these women in college, people who were like protesting, they started going into corporate world where those afros and that natural hair was not accepted. And so some of them started to essentially, assimilate, or they had to change their hairstyles in order to get jobs in the corporate world. I mean, this is documented in the hair story. I covered this off, I think last year. But you have the same thing, Black women going into corporate jobs and literally being told that their hair is not professional because they're wearing their hair that goes out of their head, being told that maybe their braids or their locks or, things that are reflective of Black natural hair are not professional. This is not made up. This was literally why the Crown Act was passed. And so we've seen this trend in the States. Okay. So it says, let's see. Okay, its code of conduct has a detailed list of rules about hair, but does not specifically mention the Afro hairstyle. It says photos of the schoolgirls' protest went viral over the weekend and have sparked a national debate on race with the hashtag Stop Racism at Pretoria Girls High. It says Gauteng Education Minister, I don't even know how to say that name, who held emergency talks on Monday with pupils administrators at the prestigious private school in the capital, criticized its Stone Age rules on hairstyles during an interview on Talk Radio 702. And then here's this picture of her gives me goosebumps. So this is just a picture of, you see these little black girls with their afros protesting. It says during his visit, black people told him that some staff at the school tell them they look like monkeys or have nests on their heads. A statement from the Gauteng, I think, Department of Education said. The mocking of African learners' usage of their mother tongue must stop. And that's a whole other issue. These people are being mocked and they are being criticized for speaking their own language. It's just ridiculous. In fact, the diverse language of languages, especially African languages, must be encouraged for all learners at the school, it added in response to reports that Black peoples had been chastised for speaking their own language in class. White minority rule and legalized racism known as apartheid ended in South Africa in 1994, quote unquote, ended, right? We know just because things end legally doesn't mean the whole system is just done overnight. Those things sometimes take time. Okay, the girls' high school was founded in 1902 as a multiracial school, according to the website, but was a whites-only institution during the apartheid era. A petition calling for an end to racism at Pretoria High has gathered 25,000 signatures. So, to my understanding, the policy was actually ended, and basically, the policy was ended, and basically, they decided to stop implementing that rule. So, again, this was a really quick story. It went viral a couple of years ago. This is my first time hearing about it, but I was just so encouraged to see Black women wearing their hair and fighting for the rights to wear their hair. I would love to see more of this. I know those girls are in South Africa. For them, obviously, it was very much a political movement, not about just their hair, but about their language and basically them accepting themselves. But I think there needs to be more of that in the States. I would I would love to see more Black women fully embrace the hair that goes out of their head and really feel like they're the most beautiful and they're the most accepted and they are the most put together when they're wearing the hair that grows out of their scalp. And I understand, wanting to have variety and wanted to switch things up and do things new and creativity. Like, I totally understand that. But I also know that there are women out there who aren't doing it for that reason. There are women out there who just they don't know how to take care of their own hair. They don't like their own hair and they feel more comfortable when they're wearing the hair of another woman. And I think that needs to stop. And so I love seeing little young Black girls who are getting the right message at the right age. Anyways, that's what I wanted to share. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.